You're listening to Cool FM. Tondo's greatest hits are here. You are listening to Cool FM. Live from Cool Studios. This is Cool News at 11.
Good morning, and welcome to koolNews at 11. The Makabayan Coalition will be filling a full senator slate for next year's midterm elections. Former Makabayan lawmakers Neri Colmenares, Salto Ocampo, Lisa Massa, and Antonio Tino said on Thursday that 12 candidates would come mostly from their ranks, although they were also open to talks with other prospects who shared the platforms. So far, the only candidate that has been confirmed on the ticket is incumbent ACT Teachers Party list, Representative Fres Castro, who earlier declared her intention to run for the Senate in 2025. Colomeras said that while they intend to prioritize candidates coming from the Makabayan Coalition, they were also willing to talk with other individuals who share their political views. We are open to nominations or suggestions for other candidates who agree with us on certain issues. The former Makabayan representative told reporters at the press conference in Quezon City. Massa, for her part, said the coalition has already started the process of nominating individuals who would fill the slots on their slate. She added that the coalition has already approved Castro's nomination and their deliberations in the coming weeks would reveal who else would be filled for next year's election. Among opposition figures, only human rights lawyer Chel Digno and former Senators Francis Pagilinan and Bob Aquino have so far confirmed their candidacies for the Senate next year. Trino said that there were no formal talks yet with any of the three about forming a coalition. Ocampo and Massa ran for the Senate in 2010 as guest candidates under the Nacionalista Party but lost. The Makabayan Coalition is composed of 8 parties, including Bayan Muna, Anak Pawis, Gabria, ACT Teachers, and Kapataan. Massa admitted that next year's election would be an uphill battle for them as they would be facing off with candidates to be filled by the parties of President Marcos and Vice President Sara Duterte. Pagilian, meanwhile, said that while he was inclined to run for the Senate, he had yet to finalize his plans as he was still weighing his chances of winning. The Liberal Party president was in Legazpi City to speak at the graduation rites of the Bicol University College of Medicine and Manlidi Town's St. Joe Community College. He was also filming an Albay episode for the second season of his Hello Pagkain program on 1PH. Pagilian told the Inquirer on Wednesday that agriculture-related bills would still be his priority if his numbers turned out to be good. Clearly, since we have stepped down, the food problem has worsened. Prices have gone up, so food security is really a challenge, he said. At the same time, Pagilian said that the party respects former Vice President Lenny Robredo's decision to run for Naga City Mayor instead of a national post. In an interview with Newswatch Plus, Robredo said she felt that her capacities were not aligned with the skill sets of a senator, an assessment that Pagilian described as truthful and honest. Her late husband, former Interior Secretary Jesse Robredo, also served as Naga mayor for a total of 6 terms. The city is a stronghold of the Liberal Party. I can understand completely because she says she needs to preserve and protect the legacy of Jesse, Pagilian said. The two were teammates in the 2022 presidential and vice presidential elections. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has declared July as National Census and Community-Based Monitoring System Month in support of the nationwide census to be conducted starting July 15. The Philippine Census Authority said it would begin deploying 70,000 enumerators beginning on Monday to conduct a published census. In Proclamation number 627 dated July 9, Mr. Marcos urged the public to cooperate with the PSA and provide truthful and complete information in response to census questions subject to existing laws, rules, and regulations. He stressed the importance of the census as it equips government executives, policymakers, and planners with current and comprehensive population data to develop informed social and economic development plans, policies, and programs. The president earlier called for a census update on the list of beneficiaries in the government's social protection programs. The update will be done through the PSA's community-based monitoring system, which will be integrated with the census of population ahead of the original schedule in 2025. 8.05 million more. The last census was done in May 2020, which revealed that the country's population at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic was 109,035,343. The figure was higher by 8.05 million compared with 2015's population of 100.98 million. Executive Order Number 352, issued in 1996, mandated the conduct of nationwide censuses and surveys every 5 years and the maintenance of administrative-based records on a regular basis. Proclamation Number 627, on the other hand, tasked the National Economic and Development Authority and PSA to lead, coordinate, and supervise activities in relation to the observance of the National Census and Community-Based Monitoring System Month. A newly constructed jail in Metro Manila has come under scrutiny after an inspection conducted by a group of lawmakers reviewed rows of small cells apparently designed for solitary confinement, which they say raises a legal issue under the Anti-Torture Act of 2009. Members of the Makabayan bloc of the House of Representatives, along with Kapatid, a support group for political prisoners, inspected the Metro Manila District Jail main in Camp Bagondiwa, Taguig City on Wednesday. The visit confirmed the existence of what the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology called high-risk cells. Finding the new facility to be disturbing, ACT Teachers Representative Fres Castro said the issue is not whether a small cell can accommodate more than one person, but the inhuman practice of punishing inmates by isolating them for whatever reasons. BJMP Chief Ro Rivera assured the group that the cells were not intended for political prisoners. However, Kapatid spokesperson Fides Lim expressed concerns over Philippine jails being used for an initiative called the International Criminal Investigative Training Assistance Program, where the U.S. Department of Justice works with foreign law enforcement agencies in the fight against transnational crime, terrorism, and corruption. Wednesday's inspection was a result of the dialogue on March 4 between the lawmakers and the BJMP regarding these concerns. Lim cited reports of rising ICTAP involvement in Philippine jails and its program against violent extremism, not unlike the NTF-ALCAC's objective of political persecution. NTF-TARLAC stands for the National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict, an anti-insurgency body created by the Duterte administration and remains in operation today. Makabayan and other critics, including political opposition leaders, have been calling for its abolition for endangering the lives of persons or groups it had linked to the communist movement with little or no proof, a practice now known as rat tagging. Lim said political prisoners are not terrorists or criminals, that they should be moved into isolation like the U.S. Guantanamo prison camp that has proven to be a failure. Kapatid and its Makabayan allies, she said, are counting on Rivera to be true to his word, so they won't be transferred to isolation cells. In a statement, Kapatid said the Anti-Torture Act of 2009 categorizes secret detention facilities, or those intended for solitary confinement, as places where mental or physiological torture can be carried out with impunity in violation of the law. From daily killings that left thousands of suspected drug addicts dead, the government is starting to flock to a full spectrum of solutions to the country's drug problem, as it acknowledged the need to treat it as a public health issue. The full spectrum solution should involve not only law enforcement but also medical, socio-economic, and educational interventions, just as Undersecretary Jesse Andres told the Inquirer on Thursday. Medical professionals like physiologists and psychotherapists, Andres said, would be in a better position to handle the cases of drug users, the seek recommendation of a newly launched rapporteur report by the University of the Philippines Institute of Human Rights. During the opening ceremony of the Drug Policy and Reform Summit in Manila on Wednesday, Dangerous Drugs Board Undersecretary Earl Saavedra acknowledged the need to reform the country's 22-year-old Republic Act No. 9165, or the Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act, saying that there were gaps in the law caused by institutional limitations or loopholes. That is why we collectively push for the current law to either be amended or for our lawmakers to introduce a proposed bill to govern the anti-drug campaign of the country, he said. UP College of Law professor Galinda Litong said the approach to drug abuse should be based on public health rather than punitive measures. Drug users should not be subjected to arrest, and health workers should be the first point of contact, not law enforcement, Litong said, citing the UB report. The, rep- the report analyzed the position papers of multi-sector groups, as well as the results of discussions with almost 500 participants in 10 regions excuse me, affected by the previous administration's drug war. The study said that rehabilitation programs should adopt a holistic approach, integrating physical activities, mental health support, education opportunities, and livelihood and capacity building programs to ensure effective recovery, prevent relapse, and allow the drug users to become socially and economically capable of reintegration. The three-day drugs policy summit, which ends on July 12th, which is today, is the culmination of the landmark three-year human rights joint program between the United Nations, the Philippine government, and civil society organizations. Based on the records of the Philippine National Police, more than 6,000 people died in anti-drug operations ordered by former President Rodrigo Duterte from July 1, 2016 to May 2019. Still to come, offshore magnitude 7.1 earthquake felt in Sudan Kudarat town. Marcos veto finds many flaws in PNP reform bill. And Terodoro asks business leaders help finance AFP upgrade. Stick around, koolNews at 11 will return after these messages. Welcome back. A powerful magnitude 7.1 earthquake struck deep in the Southwest Sea of the southern part of the country on Thursday, but no tsunami warning was issued and no damage was expected due to the tremor's depth, state seismologists said. The offshore quake hit at 10:13 a.m. yesterday and was centered 132 kilometers southwest of Palimbang town in Sultan Town, Gurat province with a depth of 722 kilometers, according to the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology. Phil folks said it was expecting aftershocks, but no damage from the quake. The agency did not issue a tsunami warning. The earthquake was felt across a wide area of southern Philippines, with varying intensities reported in different locations. The strongest shaking at intensity 4 on the Philfox scale was recorded in Jos Apat Santos, Davao Occidental. Intensity 3 was shaking was reported in the city of Mati, Davao Oriental, and Jilan, Sarangani. Several areas experienced intensity 2, including parts of de Oro, Davao del Norte, Cotabato, Sarangani, South Cotabato, and General Santos City. The weakest reported shaking at intensity 1 was felt in Davao City, parts of South Cotabato, and Lebak in Sultan Kudarat. Instrumental readings also detected varying levels of ground movement. Intensity 3 was recorded in Don Marcelino and Jose Abad Santos and Davao Occidental, as well as Gilan and Malugan in Sarangani. Intensity 2 was measured in Dagum City, Davao del Norte, Digos City, Davao del Sur, Matadlam, Cotabato, and Cotabato City. The weakest instrumental reading and intensity 1 were detected in several areas, including Naportuan, Davao del Oro, Davao City, Kitampanwan City, Cotabato, parts of Sarangani, and South Cotabato, multiple municipalities in Sultan Goralat, and Bislac City in Surigao del Sur. The Philippines, which lies along the Pacific Ring of Fire, is prone to frequent earthquakes and volcanic activity, being located in one of the world's most seismically active zones. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has vetoed the proposed law reorganizing the Philippine National Police for continuing provisions that he says will not jibe with his administration policies and objectives. While this administration recognizes the laudable objectives of the bill, I cannot approve it because the provisions run counter to administrative policy and efficiency, Mr. Marcos said in his veto message on dated July 5 and posted on the Senate website. He said he wanted to ensure that it would deliver much needed reforms, comply with civil service laws, salary stabilization policies, and base pay schedules, and conform with budgetary policies. The bill must be supportive of the programs and policy aspirations of the present and future administrations, among which is the proposed National Government Right-Sizing Program, he added. The measure seeks to amend Republic Act No. 8551 or the PNP Reform and Reorganization Act of 1998 and Republic Act 6975 or the Department of the Interior and Local Government DILG Act of 1990. It is also the final copy of the Bicameral Conference Committee report on the disagreeing provisions of House Bill No. 8327 and Senate Bill No. 2249 on PNP restructuring that Congress ratified in March. Among the president's misgivings was the potential distortion in pay due to a provision that would substantially raise the salary of Philippine National Police Academy cadets to the point of exceeding that of a police lieutenant. The grant of salary grade 21 to PNPA cadets would distort the base schedule of the military and uniform personnel by creating this party among the several government cadetship programs. At any rate, the grant is visibly higher than the base pay the cadets will receive after graduation and appointment as police lieutenants. On the Republic Under Republic Act 11466 or the Salary Standardization Law of 2019, the fourth tranche of pay increase to be implemented this year means those with salary grade 21 will have a base pay of at least 63,997 pesos. The President also noted that the bill proposed the setup of several offices such as Director Staff Area Comments, Special Office, and Support Units, but did not consider their functional relationships or clarify reporting lines. Different offices performing the same or related functions, all headed by high-ranking officials, will definitely be counterproductive and will defeat the purpose of enhancing the span of supervision and administrative control of the PNP chief, he said. There is other flaws uh, such as the bloated and overstuffed with the creation of redundant, overlapping, and ambiguous offices, and there's a provision that is also slated to create two separate PNP liaison offices, each to be headed by a police brigadier general. And finally, Marcos also found the bill's retroactive application of rights and benefits to appointments, promotions, or resignations, calling it ambiguous and at the same time vague. It says it needs clarification and omits comprehensible standards. So there you go. So there are many flaws that can be found in their, according to Marcos veto. And finally, Defense Secretary Gilberto Jr. has sought the help of business leaders in crafting creative financing solutions to ease the financial burden on the government in implementing the military's modernization program. Speaking before members of the Management Association of the Philippines in Taguig City on Wednesday, Teodoro highlighted the significant resources needed to fund the continuing modernization of the armed forces of the Philippines that must be balanced with the government's mandate to spend for infrastructure, social services, education, and many other priorities. We need to find a budget, non-traditional financing sources for modernization, but not based on the model of the old BCDA or known or basis Conversion and Development Authority, where land was traded for modernization, he said. Therefore, I ask your help for creative financing for us where we can spread out the terms of whatever financial arrangements we can make to limit the size of amortizations that the national government will make to make it more palatable, he noted. And now it is time for cool weather, brought to you by the Pagkasa Weather Specialist, Aldizar de Aurelio.
Magandang araw po sa ating lahat. Narito po ang ating weather update. Dahil po yan sa habagat o southwest monsoon, inaasahan po natin ngayong araw na magiging maulap ang kalangitan na may kasamang kalat-kalat na pag-ulan at thunderstorm sa Palawan, itong Western Visayas, buong Mindanao at kasama rin po ang Occidental Mindoro. Kaya paalala po sa mga kababayan po natin sa mga nabanggit na lugar, mag-ingat po tayo. Dahil may inaasahan po tayong mga paminsan-minsang malalakas na pag-ulan na posibleng magdulot ng pagbaha o pagguho ng lupa. Samantala, itong nalabig pong bahagi po ng Visayas at kasama rin po ang nalabing bahagi po ng Luzon, kasama po ang Metro Manila, ay magiging bahagyang maulap hanggang sa maulap ang kalangitan na may kasamang isolated na mga pag-ulan. Itong mga isolated na mga pag-ulan ay kadalasan po yan sa hapon o sa gabi. Itong southwest monsoon ay naapektuhan po ang kalurang bahagi po ng Southern Luzon hanggang sa Mindanao. Itong epekto ng southwest monsoon ay mapapatuloy bukas at sa malaking bahagi po ng ating bansa ay maapektuhan ng southwest monsoon. Kaya sa bukas, may inaasahan po tayo mga kalat-kalat na pag-ulan o paminsan-minsan may malalakas na pag-ulan, lalo na po sa may kalurang bahagi po ng Southern Luzon hanggang sa Mindanao. Kaya sa mga kababayan po natin, mag-ingat pa rin tayo dahil sa may mga posibleng magdulot ng pagbaha o pagguho ng lupa, dulot ng paminsan-minsan o may inaasahan tayong malalakas na pag-ulan. Inyo mapapansin may mga cloud cluster sa labas po ng ating PER. Binabantayan ho namin yan na posible pong may mabuong low pressure area. Ang araw pong sisikat mamaya pong 5:34 ng umaga. Ang araw lulubog sa oras ng 6:30 ng hapon. Yan po ang ating weather update mula sa Pag-asa. Ako po si Alzar D. Aurelio.
And that was the cool weather from Pag-asa. And that will be it for Cool News at 11. As always, you can send a news tip to us or feedback at tvh.philippines.news@gmail.com. And we have some changes coming to Cool News early edition starting July 15, which means we will be moving to a brand new time slot from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. That is 3 hours long to start just of early morning newscast. So you can join us on a brand new time slot next week, starting July 15 from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. to start your day with us with the latest headlines until 9. With that, the news continues later with Cool News at noon, with TJ Sen returning to anchor throughout the newscast. Until then, I am As here. Good morning.